All right, guys, so now we're going to review our problems of the day. The first problem is on Zach, and the second one is on Pam for day 1 of math, okay? So Zach, guys, could y'all please be quiet? You're gonna hear a lot of this in the background now because my kids are up. I'm so sorry, okay? Zach made a cake. He cut the cake into 8 slices. He ate 4 of the slices. What is the fraction of the cake that was eaten? Okay, so Zach is making a cake, so that lets me know that his cake is going to replace the whole, okay? He cut the cake into 8 slices, so that lets me know that he's partitioning it into 8 equal parts. So in my fraction, hold on, honey. Tell her, just let her have oatmeal. So in my fraction, I have to have 8 equal groups. So 8, good morning, baby. 8 is gonna be my denominator, okay? Because those are the total equal parts, okay? He ate 4 of those slices. So my 4, that's what we're focusing on. That's what he's eating. That's gonna be my shaded part. That will be my numerator. It says what fraction of the cake was eaten. So it was 4/8, okay? Now for Pam, yes, baby, I'm trying to review the lesson. Okay, so for Pam, she had a pizza and she cut her pizza into 6 slices. So 6, those 6 slices, she partitioned it 6 times. There are 6 equal parts, so my denominator should be 6. What is the unit fraction for each of those slices? Okay, and when we talk about unit fractions, we know that any unit fraction is going to have a 1 in the numerator. So I'm just going to put my 1 there. Pam has eaten 1/6 of the pizza. Her unit fraction will be 1/6. Now let's get back to Zach for a minute. And I'm sorry, they're making their cereal. All right, so Zach, he cut his into 8 slices. He ate 4 slices. So his original fraction was 4/8. But there's another way that you can identify this fraction. We can actually simplify this fraction. We know that the fraction bar also means to divide. So to simplify this fraction, I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 4 go into 8? 4 divided by 8 would be 2. How many times does 4 go into 4? It goes into 4 one time. So 4/8, I could say he ate 4/8 of his cake, or he ate 1/2 of his cake. That's me simplifying it. Now you don't necessarily have to simplify right now. I'm just giving you a precursor, okay? All right, now let's get to Mackenzie and Aaliyah. After my children finish pouring their cereal because they're so loud, okay? All right, so Aaliyah and Mackenzie. Mackenzie ate 2/4 of her pizza, and Aaliyah ate 3/8 of her pizza. So I'm just gonna kind of make some notes. Mackenzie, 2/4. Aaliyah, 3/8. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to compare these 2 fractions. The author is basically asking that I compare these 2 fractions and try to figure out who ate the most. Was it Mackenzie or was it Aaliyah? The easiest strategy to use to solve that is going to be your fraction bars. So I'm going to make 2 fraction bars, and I'm going to align them right up against each other so that I can clearly see the comparison. Let me fix that because that's kind of messy. Make that again. All right, so let me just draw it here. So it's a little bit neater. All right, that's a little bit better. So this is Mackenzie's. This is Aaliyah's, okay? So I know that I need to make a comparison between the 2, all right? So I'm going to write my comparison. So let me slide this up. All right, so I'm basically going to compare 2/4 to 3/8. And I'm going to put my circle in the middle because I need to add an inequality symbol to make that comparison, okay? So Mackenzie had 2/4, Aaliyah had 3/8. So I need to ask myself, what fraction family are both of these fractions a part of? They are a part of the half family. So I'm going to start at a half. I split both of them in half because I want to make sure that I can clearly see the comparison, all right? So let's start with Mackenzie's. Mackenzie had fourths. So I started at a half because that's our benchmark fraction. That's the common fraction that everybody knows is easy for you to find a half because it's right there in the middle, okay? Now, so Mackenzie has a fourth, so I'm going to take my halves and I'm going to partition them in half for Mackenzie. And I clearly see that I have my fourths there. For Aaliyah, Aaliyah has eighths. And on the path to eighths, I'm going to have to skip count past that 4, okay? So I'm going to start at my half, split my halves in half, and see how I'm connecting those fourths so that I can see the comparison between the two? And then I'm going to take my fourths to get to my eighths, and I'm going to split my fourths in half. Okay, we see that? Now I'm going to fill in my shades, and I will use my numerator to figure out how to shade. For Mackenzie, she had 2 fourths, so I'm going to shade 2. And for Aaliyah, she had 3 eighths, so I'm going to shade only 3. 1, 2, 3. And we can clearly see that Mackenzie has the most because her shading covered a larger portion than Aaliyah's. Her size is larger than Aaliyah's. Okay. Another way that you can compare the two would be to make your denominators the same. So we did our fraction bars. That's the fraction bar strategy. Now we can try to make our denominators the same. They currently are different. Girls, could you all quiet down? Thank you. All right, so our denominators are different. We want to try to make them the same. Because they are already a part of the same family, fraction family, because they started off at a half, and if I were to skip count by 4s, I'm going to get to 8, so they are common factors. They're part of the same family. So I want to make those denominators the same.